So what we are showing today is how the different axes of the microscope are organized. So we have the camera on the left hand side. The stage here is moving in X and Y and Z, and then you have the illumination, and what we are making sure is that the X-axis is moving in that direction in the negative, and here in the positive, and here in that direction is positive, and there it's negative. So we have different end stops. It may be that it's not the case in your microscope, but we can also make sure that this will happen. And this defines the zero. So whenever the microscope's touching the back here, it sets the position to 0. So along this direction it's Y, and along this direction it's X. So from here, there it's positive, from there it's also positive. And so to check whether it's correctly wired up, we have this online tool here. So you go to uc2.dip.io and then navigate to the index web serial test, and then you connect to the device over the button here, and then you will see that there will be some serial output here in the window. If everything is going all right, it just says went through correctly, and then you can move the stage in X and Y. So if you scroll up here, there's motor XY, and then also turn on the LED and stuff. So we'll turn on the LED here now, and then you can move the stage, for example, along the plus X direction or along the plus Y direction. And this is now how it should operate. So here you have the X direction. So looking from above, this is then the X direction, minus and plus. And this is the Y direction. So it moves along this direction. So maybe I'm mounting this my cell phone here. So this is X, minus X and plus X, and this is minus Y and plus Y. And then you have to make sure that the camera, now here it's a HIC robot camera, is oriented so that the long edge of the sensor is oriented parallel to the long edge of the microscope. So the Y, which is the width of the camera sensor, is oriented to the X-axis of the stage that's scanning around. I hope that is clear. And one more thing to add, so the microscope here behind the corner here, there's the electronics. So when I'm releasing it, you will see different stepper motor drivers. So this is for the axis A, X, Y, Z. And you can, of course, if the orientation is not correct, just unplug it. So first make sure that you unplug the power, and then you can unplug this here and then move it to a different location. So this is, for example, if this is Y, you can just unplug it and swap it to the Y, X. And then if the direction of the motor is wrong, you simply need to rotate it and then plug it back in so that you can change the direction of the motor. However, you can also change that in the code, in the JSON of the ImSwitch, both so the direction of travel and also the axis assignment. So I'll show that in the docs. To complete the picture, I want to demonstrate how you can swap the axis in the code. And therefore there's in the JSON file that you have, there's an entry, or you can make an entry that's called axis order. And so, for example, if X and Y are swapped, so 0 is A, X is 1, Y is 2, and 3 is Z, then you can swap the order. For example, just say 2 is now the Y-axis and 1 is the X-axis. This is now changed, and the default is just 1, 2, 3. And also the speed, the step size here determines the direction. So here, for example, the direction is reversed. So that means positive and negative is just swapped. However, it's important that the microscope has 0 here and moves along this direction in the positive and the other one direction negative. And if, for example, the wires are not corrected in the right orientation, you can change that here simply with a negative sign. And that's it. And another thing what we can appreciate here is the step to micrometer ratio. So here it simply means that for 1 millimeter, we need 3,200 steps for the motor. And in order to get the physical coordinates, we have this conversion factor. That's it.